Voter participation is up if you have a college degree. Smoking is down. Reading to your children is up. Exercising is up. Like on every measure that they could find of things that you want for your society, if you compare people without a college degree and people with a college degree, you do better.
There's all these other good things that come out of education that aren't just people like getting bachelor's degrees, but we're not paying for, no one is paying for those, or the burden of all of those other positive things is just falling on people paying tuition. This society that's benefiting from all the positive outcomes of a university isn't paying for those outcomes. Mm-hmm. It's all the cost of that is falling on our tuition dollars.
You know, higher education is one of the least efficient. The business model makes no sense because everybody wants lower class sizes, more faculties, but smaller student faculty ratios. Actually, as access becomes wider with open source technology and the ability to have a lot of information outside of college, etc., the premium of the experience is actually driven up. People expect it to be more and more and more I guess, exclusive and unique to the individual student. The business savvy approach, the more efficient, the way to drive costs down for this model is not what people want.
And there's sort of this idea in our society that you get what you pay for. You pay half as much for a college education, it's half as valuable. And so people want to be at the same, and colleges want to be expensive so that people sort of want to go there. And no one wants to be the lowest cost, ironically, because then it's not considered as great a value as the other more expensive schools.
In a sense, I almost get the sense that college, or at least paying for college, in a way almost destroys the middle class, or at least for me that's sort of how I feel a little bit, because if you can pay, you're forced to pay as much as you're able.
High price of college tuition is reinforcing all the class cleavages in society, and so it's helping to kind of exacerbate the problem of, there's 20% of really elite people that can pay for whatever they want, and there's the rest of us that are kind of slowly declining, and the middle class is slowly declining. So is it really fair that we have to pay this much for college tuition? And even because, and it's such a necessity, as you said, to get a job.
One really good strategy to combat this whole issue is states that have done a really good job creating state universities that rival private universities, because it gives kids the opportunity to get an awesome education who could never come to Tufts. And it makes places like this competitive because Tufts is competing with, I'm from North Carolina. Students from North Carolina get better financial aid deals from private schools outside of North Carolina, because those schools know that if they want to get the kids to come, they have to be competitive with UNC Chapel Hill, which is, tuition is $14,000 a year plus room and board. And so that there's benefits throughout the system of having states, and a lot of states that have funded for a long time really good state schools.
Private colleges have actually, in the last 2-3 years, their increases have been relatively modest. The average cost of college has gone up so much because state schools have had huge increases in their costs in the last 2 years because their budgets are so stretched, because the economy is so bad and they're not collecting income tax, and so they're cutting budgets. So it's this weird sort of spiral that as the economy got worse, just when you wanted to have more access and have more people being able to get an education, the access got worse.
It's ridiculous that we have to pay $54,000 whatever dollars to come here to Tufts, but at the same time, as Ben was saying, I want small class sizes. I want more better professors and people who are doing really cool research, because that gives me better opportunities. So I don't know, I struggle with the fact that doesn't seem to be a way around this problem.
Either we'll find a way to make it accessible and effective for way, way more people than it is now, or it'll become even more exclusive than it was before because the cost will be so prohibitive, and in fact enrollment will go down, many colleges and universities will close. That's the other option.
I feel like these costs will keep rising and nothing will really change in this situation until people, in a sense, unite and protest, or unite and act, or unite and petition. And I'm almost afraid that people won't unite and petition because of, I guess, the nature of this culture, or maybe human nature, is to act once the problem is really bad, in a sense. So we might wait until we can't pay for college anymore, and then we start protesting, right? As opposed to when we see the trends. So in a sense, this would require, I guess, a changing of the entire way that education economically has been founded and has been supported, in a sense. But once you educate students at Tufts, you know, they can raise awareness of it and they can spread that awareness. And once you get a bunch of people at a bunch of colleges' campuses, then they can create a change. Action without education is, in a sense, random. So you have to teach people about something before they can act to make it better.